I found a dress online that I absolutely love. However, it's from a few years ago from J. Crew, and I can't find the exact fabric, but I found this material. We are going to work with gingham again today, and I'm going to draft the pattern on my own. Let me tell about this, y'all. This is fabric from Fabulism. I absolutely love their fabrics. Now let me do a quick sketch on how this dress is going to look so you know what direction I'm actually going in making this dress. So this is what the front is gonna look like. Super bad sketch. It's going to be a large gingham, and the straps are going to be on the bias so it can curve nicely and accent the straight gingham parts. And then I'm going to do box pleats and a little bit of cording. I just kind of added that, but I'm going to do cording at the waistline. And then as you look at the front or the back over here, it's going to be a crisscross back, and the band is going to go around back behind here, and the box pleats are going to be in the back with an invisible zipper. Now we're ready to go to town with draping, but see the link right here on how I actually do my draping. However, I'll give a few pointers on how I'm gonna do this one slightly a little bit different, but please watch this video so you know what I'm doing. Here I'm using the draping technique that I mentioned in that video that I said you should go and watch. I'm adding my darts and basically making it the fit that I want, but I'm not gonna talk a lot about this because you can go ahead and watch that video. So here's the deal. The reason why I'm not adding the straps here is because I wanna design where exactly I want the end of my band to go. I just wanna say this is the armhole that I want under my armpits. And then I will design the strap to go over that instead. I made this mistake on a previous few other dresses that I've made where I tried to account for the strap on top of that when I just need the shape, and then add the band here, cut off band, enough for a band to be here and enough for the band to be here. Before I go into the rest of this, I had to make the rest of the back of the bodice before I can show you the technique about the straps. So if you're trying to create a pattern, you just cut your strip, which this is 1 3/4 inches, and you're going to literally lay it on how you want it to look. Just let the rippling happen. Don't worry about that. We're going to add pins. So we're going to line this up here and add 1 pin at the end here. Make sure this lines up here. Add a pin here, add a pin here. Keep going around and adding pins. So now that we have all of our lovely little ripplings, we're literally going to put darts where all those little waves are. Just like that, put a pin right there. And then there's a dart here where it curves. So basically pinning all of those ripples down into darts all the way around. I have just this front part made, but I am going to lay this on here. Oops, that's sideways. That's not right. Okay, I'm not wearing the right undergarments here, but I actually think this bodice might be a little bit too short. I'm going to have to alter some of this because I actually think this needs to come in. This is way too low here. I think this needs to go up a little bit more. It looks kind of weird, if you know what I mean. Take all of this out because this is irrelevant to our shape here. To fix this, I'm going to add a piece of fabric behind here because I don't want to just completely redrape the whole thing. So I'm gonna add that under there, and I'm gonna add my piece of fabric. I'm gonna cut it here to add what I was missing. Add a smidgen to the neckline up here. I'm going to add 1/2 inch up here, around 1/2 inch up here. Just like this has got to come over here. We're gonna come right to this point right here and come down. Now we're cutting out our new lines, and then I just re-draped the strap back on there. I'm not gonna go through that because I already showed you how to do it. I just had to do it with the new shape and press it down with a pin. So I actually just made this strap a 1/4 inch wider, and I think that does help a little bit. I think it does look better. Now I'm tracing my pattern pieces onto packing paper, and I'm going to make a mock-up to see what it looks like. And here is my mock-up. So far, I'm thinking it looks good. Actually, I wonder if I could just like take this in here just a tad. Then we wouldn't have to mess with this. And actually, I think that makes a pretty good fit there. And we've got the back. This is what the crisscross is gonna look like in the back. I took apart my mock-up and I actually made a pattern piece out of it. Now that I have my pieces, I decided to cut out the actual dress. And here I'm cutting the strap, but I'm cutting it on the bias, as I had mentioned. But I also cut the lining on the straight grain to give support in the back. Also, I marked all my darts, started sewing the bodice together. I'm not going to cover a lot of the construction of this dress, but I finished it, and now I'm using this tailor's ham, which is super helpful in pressing on curves. See link below if you want to press really nice flat seams on the curve. I started to sew the strap and the back of the strap to the bodice. Like I mentioned, I'm not going into a ton of detail on this, but I sewed the straps together, and I am very pleased with how it turned out. What it looks like so far. There's a little bit of rippling here. I might need to press that out, but this side looks great. Here's the crisscross in the back. Moving on to making cording, because I'm putting cording in between the bodice and the skirt to have a dividing line between the two, and I made this on the bias as well. All right, here we go. We've got our cording. I sewed the cording on, and then I moved on to cutting out the skirt. Okay, so I have it cut out. I cut it according to the length that I want it. You'll notice here, look at this. This is curved. I don't know if you can tell, but I did not cut a straight line. I cut with the gingham because I wanted my hem to be perfect down at the bottom, and I just measured from square to square, and it'll just end up sorting itself out. That was one thing another fellow sewist told me one time. She was an upholsterer and a drapery. She did draperies and things for people's houses, and she had said cut with the direction of the fabric, not with the technical measurement, which I think in this place actually does matter. I designed my own pockets. If you want to see a video on how I do this, hit the subscribe button because that's coming out. After I added the pockets, I started to pleat the dress. I did one box pleat in the front, did knife pleats coming out the sides, and voila, I have a flat dress ready for a zipper. I did not go into detail on this because I have an invisible zipper tutorial, see link below. I pressed my pleats down just to have a nice set. I did a 2-inch hem folded twice, and then voila, that part was done. Now it's ready for attaching the straps in the back. I did not put this in the bodice. I cut it out just where I needed it and measured exactly where it's supposed to be on both sides of the strap, so it was perfectly matching. And then I attached it to the back, hand stitched it to the back on the inside. I can adjust this whenever I want if I need to. And I zipped it up to make sure it looks even, and we're looking even, and now we're stitching it closed to be finished. And here we go, all finished. I am really happy with how this turned out. I am not usually a green fan, but I actually really love this eucalyptus green. So if you want to see more of my dresses for this summer or clothes from the summer, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all next time.